GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good night, Montreal.
City officials announced today a major expansion of affordable housing, targeting 1,650 new units across the island. The plan earmarks two key sites, the former Molson Brewery property in the east and the Namur Hippodrome neighborhood in the north-central borough. Development partners will coordinate design, financing, and construction with the aim of delivering mixed-income residences that meet provincial affordability standards. The city says the projects will integrate green spaces, transit access, and community services to support long-term stability for low and moderate-income families. Funding will draw from municipal reserves, provincial housing grants, and private sector contributions. Officials stress that the new supply is intended to offset rising rents and to diversify the housing stock in neighborhoods historically lacking affordable options. Construction is slated to begin early next year, with the first units expected to be occupied by 2029.
Rain and thunderstorm warnings are in effect across several Quebec regions today. The Meteorological Service has issued alerts for Montreal, Capitale Nationale, and Estrie, citing heavy downpours, frequent lightning, and gusty winds through the evening. Officials advise drivers to reduce speed, keep headlights on, and avoid non-essential travel where flooding is possible. Outdoor events in Greater Montreal are being monitored, and organizers have been asked to stand by for possible postponements. Residents near low-lying waterways are urged to stay indoors and watch for sudden water level rises. The warnings stay active until conditions improve, with hourly updates from the Weather Bureau. Emergency crews in Quebec City and Sherbrooke are prepared to respond to flooding or power outages. Additionally, a number of schools in the warned districts have called off classes for the rest of the day. Stay tuned for further information as the storm system moves eastward.
Yesterday, the Quebec Police Ethics Commissioner announced the opening of a formal investigation into allegations of racism and discrimination by officers in the Montreal Nord neighborhood. The probe follows long-standing community concerns that police practices may be biased against the area's diverse residents. Officials said the commissioner will review complaints, interview witnesses, and examine internal police records to determine whether conduct breaches the province's code of ethics. Montreal Nord, known for its multicultural population, has seen several public calls for greater accountability in recent months. The commissioner, who oversees police conduct standards, said the case stems from several complaints filed earlier this year. An independent panel of legal and community experts will aid the review. The investigation is expected to run independently of the police service and will culminate in a report outlining any findings and recommended actions. The move underscores provincial authorities' willingness to address potential systemic issues within law enforcement.
On Monday, the York Amphitheatre on Concordia's campus will host a free retrospective lecture honoring illustrator Donald Caron, the longtime creator of Fantasia Festival's iconic posters. The event marks the festival's 30th anniversary, celebrating more than 27 years of Caron's artwork that has defined the brand since its debut in 1997. Festival organizers said the lecture will showcase the evolution of his designs and give fans a behind-the-scenes look at the creative process. Seats are open to the public, with the university providing a live stream for anyone unable to attend in person. Caron, whose bold graphics have become a staple of the festival's visual identity, will join a panel of curators and former collaborators to discuss the role of illustration in contemporary genre cinema. The celebration underscores the lasting partnership between the festival and the local arts community.
Today, the Calgary Stampeders will host the Montreal Alouettes in the second regular season matchup of the Canadian Football League. The game marks a rematch of the team's earlier clash, giving both clubs a chance to adjust strategies before the season settles in. Calgary's Mile High Stadium, McMahon Stadium, will see the Alouettes travel westward, with the Philpott brothers expected to feature prominently for Montreal's offense. Fans in Alberta can expect a brisk July afternoon, and the broadcast will be carried nationally on TSN. The Stampeders, coming off a strong preseason, will look to capitalize on home field advantage, while the Alouettes aim to even the series after their initial encounter. Kickoff is slated for 3:30 p.m. local time, and the result could set the tone for the league's opening weeks.
Later, we'll break down the June 2026 storms that have cost over $1.1 billion in losses. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the break. Up next, Rachel Reed brings you the latest local stories, so stay tuned.
The Insurance Bureau of Canada reported that June's severe storms and flooding generated insured losses surpassing $1.1 billion across the country. Heavy rain and powerful wind systems battered Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and the Montreal area, flooding homes, damaging roofs, and inundating basements. The Bureau said the combined impact left thousands of households facing repair bills and many small businesses contending with interrupted operations. Adjusters documented extensive water intrusion, roof collapse, and vehicle damage, driving the total insured claims to historic level for the month. While the weather event has passed, the financial strain continues as policyholders work with insurers to settle claims and begin rebuilding. Authorities in the affected regions are monitoring water levels and urging residents to document damage for their insurance files. Local agents are prioritizing flood coverage reviews to expedite payouts.
Pronoma Animal Shelter in Montreal is now caring for roughly 25 abandoned pets each day, about double the number it was seeing earlier this year. The surge began as the city's moving season kicked in, prompting owners to leave behind dogs and cats they can no longer take with them. Since its opening, the refuge experienced a relatively quiet first half of the year, but the recent influx has stretched staff and volunteers thin. Workers report longer intake lines and a growing need for temporary foster homes. The shelter's capacity remains limited, and each new animal adds pressure to already stretched resources. Officials say the trend is expected to continue through the summer as more families relocate. Residents are urged to consider adoption or foster options to help ease the mounting load.
Mayor Michael Stern of Westmount, a Montreal suburb, has been cited by the Quebec Municipal Commission for 7 alleged ethics violations. The Commission's findings, released Friday, July 17 at 6:55 p.m. EDT, detail accusations of disrespectful language and uncivil behavior directed at city officials and staff. The Quebec Municipal Commission, which monitors compliance with municipal ethics rules, identified each of the 7 breaches in its report. The citations come as part of the Commission's ongoing oversight of municipal conduct across the province. Westmount City Council has been notified of the findings and will determine any further action in response to the alleged violations. The Commission's decision marks a formal step in addressing the reported conduct within the municipality.
Yesterday, service on the REM stalled between Panama and Central stations for more than 3 hours, beginning at 4:48. The interruption left commuters stranded across the downtown corridor, forcing many to seek alternative buses or walk to nearby stops. The operator confirmed the line remained offline until after 10 p.m., when trains resumed. Officials said the exact cause is still under investigation, and no further details were released. As the Metropolitan Express rail network handles thousands of daily trips, the outage disrupted workday travel for a significant portion of the city's workforce. Riders reported crowded platforms and delayed connections to other transit lines. The 3-hour gap coincided with the evening rush, amplifying delays for those heading home after work. Station staff worked to provide information, but many passengers expressed frustration over the lack of real-time updates. The operator pledged to review safety protocols and restore full service promptly.
Yesterday, the Quebec government gave the green light to a new rail bypass encircling Lac Mégantic. The plan adds 12.5 kilometers of fresh track, rerouting freight trains away from town center. The alignment will join the existing north-south line with the east-west corridor, creating a loop that avoids downtown core. Transportation officials said the route was selected after months of engineering studies and hearings. The project, slated to begin within next year, follows a 13-year review sparked by the 2013 derailment that claimed dozens of lives. By diverting traffic, the bypass aims to reduce the risk of another catastrophe in the narrow streets that once saw the tragic spill. Local businesses that feared freight traffic through their blocks welcomed the decision as a concrete step toward long-term safety. Construction crews are expected to start soon, with province pledging to meet federal safety standards throughout the build.
And now, Peter Miller hands it over to our meteorologist for tonight's outlook. Stay tuned.
A low-pressure trough drifts east,
while a blistering jet stream forces the night's calm into tomorrow's warmth. On this date, the all-time high reached 31.1 degrees Celsius back in 2020, set during a lingering heat wave that pushed the city into the mid-30s for several days. The all-time low stands at 14 degrees, recorded in 2014 when an Arctic blast slipped southward, blanketing the island in frost. By contrast, the climate normal for July 18th hovers around 24 degrees maximum and 15 degrees minimum, leaving tonight's 21-degree overcast comfortably between the extremes. The live radar screen shows a pristine echo field, no rain bands, no snow, just a smooth return across the province. That emptiness stems from the low-pressure center slowly filling, while the fast southwest jet rides above, suppressing lift and keeping moisture locked aloft. With the jet stream steering clear of the island, any stray showers will dissolve before reaching the urban core, leaving the night dry and steady. The night is overcast with a temperature of 21 degrees and humidity near 95%. A low-pressure system sits over the region but is rising, allowing a high-pressure ridge to edge in from the west and promise steadier conditions. Overhead, a 202 km/h southwest jet stream streams aloft, slicing through the troposphere and preventing any surface lift. That's why the radar remains empty. UV index sits at 1, essentially negligible. Winds will linger around 7 km/h from the southwest, with gusts peaking at 24. No rain is forecast, but an air quality warning blankets Montreal Island and surrounding municipalities, urging residents to limit strenuous outdoor activity. The weekend closes with a mild night, then Sunday sunrise will bring clear skies and a high of 23 degrees, low 14, a crisp start after the overcast lull. Monday follows, staying overcast but climbing to 25 degrees with a low of 14, as the high-pressure ridge strengthens. Tuesday introduces a swell of moisture. Light rain returns with a 60% chance, temperatures holding at 24 degrees high and 19 low, the rain cooling the air. Wednesday looks drier again, clear for most of the day, but a 40% chance of sprinkles lingers, high 23, low 16. Thursday rounds the week with mainly clear conditions, high 24 and low 16, offering a steady finish before the next system approaches. And that's your weather. Remember, the wrap is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on Amazon Music or wherever you get your podcasts.
Coming up, we'll check the morning traffic, preview tonight's Chamber Spotlight, and catch the Habs opening the season. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
And now here's Jason with sports.
Hockey, soccer, and a blockbuster trade, Montreal sports are busy this summer. Mark your calendars, Habs fans. The 2026-27 NHL season opens September 29th with an all-Canadian showdown. Montreal heads to Toronto to face the Maple Leafs on opening night, while Edmonton hosts Vancouver in the other marquee matchup, according to CBC Sports. The Montreal Roses picked up a crucial Northern Super League win, topping the visiting Halifax Tides 1-0. Substitute Chloe Minas was the hero, converting from the penalty spot in the 77th minute to seal the result, per CBC Sports Soccer. A familiar face is leaving Montreal. The Canadiens have traded forward Brendan Gallagher to the Vancouver Canucks in exchange for future considerations. Gallagher spent years with the Habs before this offseason move, reported by CBC Sports NHL.
In Verdun's bustling waterfront, the summer sun glinted off the St. Lawrence as kayakers paddled near the historic Point du Réseau. A municipal fireboat, meant to be a safety anchor, suddenly ran aground on a shallow shoal, leaving the group of 12 paddlers bobbing helplessly in a swell that grew faster than the tide. From the opposite bank, 2 jet ski riders, friends who meet every weekend for a quick splash, spotted the distress. Their watercraft cut through the choppy water, engines humming low, and they steered directly toward the stranded kayakers. With calm urgency, each rider pulled a kayak aboard, guiding it past the stubborn hull of the fireboat and onto the calmer current beyond the shoal. By the time the fire crew arrived, all 12 kayakers were safely ashore, laughing and shaking hands with their unexpected rescuers. The scene reminded everyone that community preparedness isn't just a policy on paper. It's the quick thinking of ordinary citizens who step up when the unexpected happens. It's a reminder of the kindness that threads through Montreal's riverbanks, and it brightens the day for all who share the water.
In the heart of Mercier, Hochelaga Maisonneuve, on a Tuesday morning, residents of Rue Saint Laurent watched a line of orange trucks crawl along the CN rail corridor that borders their courtyard. The crew sprayed herbicide to keep the tracks clear, a routine CN operation. The faint hiss lingered over flower boxes and a child's bike against a fence, prompting surprised comments from neighbors on their stoops. Within an hour, a handful of community members formed a small circle, phones out, and began documenting the drift of mist onto their gardens. Their concern quickly turned into collective action. A neighborhood association drafted a polite letter, and a local school class helped create a mural showing the rail line as a shared space rather than a barrier. CN's response arrived next day with a senior engineer visiting block, apologizing for the lack of notice, and promising to adjust its schedule and add buffer zones. The gesture sparked relief and a celebration, as children waved homemade signs that read, "Thank you for listening." It's a reminder that when a community speaks up, even a railway can hear the call.
Thank you, Montreal, for joining us on the wrap. It was striking to see the city commit to building 1,650 new affordable homes. Stay tuned tomorrow for more headlines and in-depth looks at the stories that matter to you. See you then, and have a great evening.